Welcome back, everyone. I've got a fun one for you today. I'm going to use both Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer to take this image of a lovely young lady and turn it into this beautiful work of art. Maybe you could use something like this for a Valentine's Day card or something, but if you do, I would recommend using a picture of your own special someone instead of this model here. Anyway, I started with this awesome image I downloaded from pixabay.com. I'll leave a link in the description. I want to isolate the woman and remove the background. So, I'll go to the selection brush tool on the left-hand toolbar and I'll start painting over her to make a selection. As always, to make your brush head bigger or smaller, click the right or left square bracket keys a few times. And to unselect areas you don't want, just hold the Option or Alt key while painting them away. Alright, this looks pretty good. So, I'll just go to the Refine tool in the top toolbar and then I'll use the Matte Adjustment brush to paint over the fine detail areas of her hair. Affinity Photo will do its best to select what it can for me. If you want to double check your selection, sometimes it's easier to change the preview mode here at the top right. I'll select black and white, and I can tell right away that my selection is pretty good. So, I'll go to the Output drop-down, select New Layer with Mask, and then apply to put my model into her own layer. Now, I'm going to add a paint splatter background I also got from pixabay.com. To do this, you can select File from the menu and then Place. Or, you can use the Place tool in the left-hand toolbar if you've added that. Either way, I'll select the file I want and then use the cursor to drag it out onto my canvas. Alright, next I'm going to reposition and resize my lady friend here by using the arrow-shaped Move tool in the left-hand toolbar. I'll move her off to the side a bit and then drag on the corner nodes to resize her. Okay, next I'll go to the Shapes drop-down in the left-hand toolbar and select the heart shape. I'll drag that out onto my canvas using my cursor. Then I'll use the selection nodes to reshape the heart a bit to where I want it. Now, I want a grungier looking edge to my heart to match it better with the background colors. But if you notice, by clicking on the stroke box in the upper toolbar, Affinity Photo has very limited options for the edge stroke. So I'll go to File in the menu and select Edit in Designer. This opens my project up in Affinity Designer and allows me to add brush strokes to the edges of my heart shape. So I'll go to my Brushes panel in Designer and select one that's a bit rough, like this dense charcoal in the Dry Media category. Then I'll go back up and click on the stroke line and select the brush stroke style at the top right of the panel. I'll make sure that the dense charcoal brush is selected and then raise the width all the way up. This gives my heart a look like torn paper. If I want to increase the stroke size up past 100 points, I can just type them into the box at the right. I think 150 points will do. Alright, now I'll just use the arrow-shaped Move tool to move and resize my heart to where I want it. Then, I'll go to File and then Edit in Photo to get back to Affinity Photo. Alright, now I want to apply a bit of a gradient to this heart shape. But first, I'll right-click on the shape layer and then scroll down to Rasterize to turn this into a single pixel layer. Then, I'll go to the FX button at the bottom of the Layers panel and I'll select Gradient Overlay and check the box. Next, I'll change the angle by moving the dial at the bottom to 315 degrees. Then, I'll change the gradient colors by clicking on the gradient box and then selecting the left node. I'll change that to bright red. Then I'll select the right node and change it to a nice light pink color. Okay, now I'll right-click on the heart layer and scroll down to Rasterize again. And I'll check off the box to preserve layer FX. Then I'll go to the blend modes drop down and scroll through them until I find one that looks best to me. I think I'll go with color dodge. One last thing and I'll let you go. I'm just going to resize this heart a bit so that it covers more of the canvas. There, that looks nice. And so, yeah, there you go. A nice little piece of Valentine's Day digital art for the one you love most. All right, that's about it for today. If you learned something and want to see more of this kind of content, please click those like and subscribe buttons. And if you're feeling generous, this channel runs on caffeine. There's a link to buy me a cup of coffee in the descriptions. Not necessary, but certainly appreciated. Have a great day, everyone.